What is going on, everybody? We are back with a Q&A session, a special edition here, going live here on the Florence Motor Speedway
Going down.
page, and Steve's going down.
Yep.
For real.
It's about your time.
Yeah,
9:15.
true story.
9:15, not your time. Well, we're way beyond that. Jeez.
But we have our special guest, Steve Zacharias and Brian Voss, back in the house over here. Glad to have y'all back.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Feels at home now.
Yeah.
We come here, we bring rain every time.
Yeah, y'all just bring storms with y'all.
We were talking like we make it rain. Drops.
Yeah.
Drops.
Anything else?
And not just rain, like storms.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, it was like rough a little while ago.
Yeah.
We already quoted Twister on the way here, so we don't have to do that again.
Yeah, we don't.
Oh, we don't have to do that one. Oh, well, you know. So, to get it out real quick before we start taking questions from everybody, released some pretty big news for the area, for the region, I guess we'll say, today. Coastal Plains Speedway. Raceway, I'm sorry. Coastal Plains Raceway. I apologize.
Well, it's gonna take a minute for everybody. New River,
Yes,
Goodyear,
yes.
Coastal Plains. Like
Yep.
we just got to keep a tab on it. But we're good.
Everywhere, the ones right here are Speedway, so that's
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Plains
stuck in my
Come
head.
on, David.
So
Come on.
do better.
Yeah, do better.
Do better.
Do better, be better.
So Coastal Plains Raceway
Right.
back already, and it is I just told you, I was like, man, I think it is a awesome thing that, you know, we're in a day and age that a lot of racetracks, asphalt, dirt, whatever, are just going to the wayside. Unfortunately, you know, getting scooped up. You know, y'all have dealt with it before down at Myrtle Beach, and they don't come back a lot of times. But to see one, you know, relatively recent shut down, and you know the way everybody kind of thought over social media was track was just gone. To see it in this short amount of time, really get it fired back up,
Yep.
and y'all have a big hand in that.
Yeah, I think it was nice to get it out there because we've been talking about it and a lot of the logistics. You know, talking to Mr. Humphrey, just trying to make sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. Took a little while, and because we had this conversation and had the video made a while back, but got it out today, and a lot of great response, which I thought it would be. You know, everyone is super excited about everything, so you know, now it's just on Brian and I to make sure that we put on the stuff we said we're going to do, and you know, do the best we can with it. And the reason we're kind of sitting here is like, you know, with us, we said it, but we want responses from everybody. And I thought it'd be cool, like with our race coming up tomorrow and you racing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Great time was to come, you know, a couple minutes up the road and have those conversations. So
For sure, for sure. All right, there's already one question.
All right, hit me.
And it is from our buddy Boo Carlisle.
oh no.
He said, what does it feel like to get praised for a change instead of cussed on this special day?
being praised, I don't even know if we've ever actually been praised.
Well, we may be getting somewhat praised to get cussed at.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us a platform to cuss at you.
Yeah.
We're giving you another track to come and cuss at us.
That's right. But no, it's like I said, it's fun to be a part of the sport in general. You know, and to have ourselves involved in, you know, different areas of it, whether it's Coastal Plains or not.
I think you and I, we both see sort of cussing at and arguing, like we see it differently than most people do. We see it as constructive criticism. Anytime they're coming at us with saying something, like we're processing, how can we make it better? Now, sometimes you obviously got to weed it out,
Oh, yeah.
but you just take it. You never just lash back out.
I will
Some
say,
people do
that when I first started, because Brian had been around this crowd a lot more than I ever had, and when I first started, we used to go to Tech and come out of Tech. And they would give me that speech about, I'm never racing here again. When we first started, I'll never forget it because I was like, oh my God, please no. And like, it actually hurt my feelings. Like Jack will tell you, I'd be sad the next morning on Sunday when they'd tell me like, oh, you know, F you. And then like, tell me we're never racing here again. And then after about a year, I'm like, wait a minute. No, you didn't mean it.
Every
Like
time he tells me,
you're coming back.
there was a confrontation. I said, don't worry, they'll be the first one at the gate next race.
Yeah.
And they were.
So now I'm like, so I still don't like the comment, but at the same time, I understand that like Brian and I will continue to make it where you want to come back. So you can yell at me all you want and say it, but like now it's completely different than year one.
All right. Well, I do want, and this probably is a good thing. Really quick, If anybody hasn't seen the announcement itself, kind of tell everybody exactly what's happening before we get in any further questions. Exactly what's going on.
So we sat here probably about 3-4 weeks ago now, and announced that Brian and myself are taking over Coastal Plains Raceway as far as managing partnership with Mr. Humphrey, Ronnie, and our job is to make the racing good, great again, as I like to say, and with that, our job is to August 9th make sure that we have our first race. We're still working on the scheduling. I will say that I had a conversation today. I can almost guarantee that we'll have legends and bandos on August 9th and try to get with INEX and make it, if we can make it a national event or a regional event. Those are things we're going to work on. And those are things, so again, New River closed. Anthony did a great job, was an amazing person, and worked really hard to make that place work. It just didn't work out for him at that time. And then when he decided to close, or close himself or close New River, Mr. Humphrey and I had a conversation. It's like, we'd like to keep going. And him and I had originally talked before we ever got to Florence. So we got back together after Anthony closed down and got a game plan on how to do this together. Because, again, Florence is our thing that we got to focus on. So I can't take any real kind of, whether it's financials or investments and move it over. But our job is to just, as a managing group, we have to make sure that we put on the best shows every time we show up. So when it comes to what you saw today, it's out there. I thought it was a pretty good little video that we all made. I was super excited, actually. If you haven't watched it, please watch it, and also watch it all the way to the end, because I thought the song was fitting for the situation. But yeah, no, we're excited. We're going to be at Coastal Plains. We're going to be at Florence tomorrow.
Yep.
Yourself included, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, we will.
But everything like New River closing down and already us taking it over, everything's happened so quickly. That's a whole different demographic than what we're accustomed to. It's an area that we know short track racing. We know the Southeast, but that area probably pertains to more different divisions than what our area pertains to. So we just need to get all of our ducks in a row before we get that divisions for the August 9th race.
Yep.
Well, and that's what I was fixing to get to. That was next. Well, there's two questions on here, but we'll put them into one. Basically, what is the lineup over there? Condensing this, they asked, actually, are you going to be running mini stocks? And I know in the past they ran champ carts over there.
Yep.
They asked if those would be back for 2026. So
Champ cart scares us.
So a lot, but yeah.
I think mini stocks definitely on the table. I think Chargers, Legend cars, Bandos, obviously. I think the only thing that we can 100% say that we're ruled out is late model stocks.
Yes.
Because we don't think late models is a weekly division anymore, especially now this time of year, because everybody's preparing for the big races, the Fall Classics and the 400 and Thanksgiving Classic, Martinsville. There's so many big things that people now at this point, if they're not in contention for their series championships or their track championships, they're already checked out. They're saving money for them races. So late models are ruled out, but I think everything's on the table. Champ carts, though, it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
I mean, but again, that might be something that we talk to those guys, that demographic for that area, and they convince us otherwise.
Yeah, they always have a good car count. It's just, man, having a son that races and knowing adults that race those things, if you wreck one time wrong at Coastal Plains, it's a bad day for everybody, and it goes as far as, and the people that don't really see it this way, and these are things Brian and I have learned over the last handful of years, is that, so yes, we're probably not going to wreck. Or that's a perfect example. I'm sure you saw it. That dirt car at Sonoya, or how do you say it? Sonoya. Yeah. So however you say it.
Yeah.
But you're never going to see a car come into the grandstands. You're just going to stand against the fence. It'll never happen. Well, then Carteret, they learned the lessons with the, mini cups.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So someone gets hurt bad, and the track is at fault, technically, right? So you have a great race, and you have a good car count, and all things go perfectly. It's a great day. But if someone crashes and gets hurt drastically, or it's a bad deal, I mean that puts the track way behind the 8 ball. So now we have to then figure out how to our insurance rates go up, and this goes up, and we got to pay, and then you got the fear, it's just, man, those things, especially right now for us, I think that first race I really want to focus on. I don't even want to call them support divisions, because Brian and I have always wanted to push all the Chargers, all the mini stocks, all
to us,
the
everything's a feature division.
Yes, everything's a feature
But it's
division.
more so of a comfort zone. What can you rely on? It's going to be there.
Right.
Show out the first time.
But I think that first race, and actually something that we didn't have a conversation about, and so I'm kind of saying it out loud is, and again, this is why I'm saying it out loud is because of Q&A, right? So, I mean, what are your thoughts, I'm asking you, about pro late models and 602s over there?
I think you got to fill them out.
Right.
You can see what's running. That's the deal. The deal when you come in like middle of the year, and your schedule's not out at the beginning of the year, you got to weave in between. Like what tracks are running here, what tracks are running there. People's already committed to other tracks, other series.
Yeah.
So you can't just like say, "Hey, I'm gonna overlap here,"
Right.
out of nowhere.
Yep.
Like, you can't expect to have a good car count if they're already committed somewhere else.
But so to the Champ Car thing and to the mini cups, like we're not saying no. We're just saying, man, you got to understand, like we're trying to grow the racetrack in a very short period of time. Not grow it, but at least keep it alive. And if, God forbid, one small thing happens during an event, that it could end it immediately. So
And yes, David, Crown Vics are also on the table.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's coming.
Crown Vics.
Somebody's gonna
Yeah.
ask about it.
told somebody the other
everything's
day-
on the table.
I told my dad the other day, I said, we're selling that car and I'm going to buy 2 Crown Vics.
see, that's the problem though, is that we just talked you out of selling. Like, so now we lost a Charger, but we gained a Crown Vic.
2 Crown Vics.
Yeah, so how's that work? That's make any sense?
Crown Vics buy 4 new tires every race.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Never mind. Oh, let's see. Apparently, all the Champ Car guys are on here. They said
Oh, yeah.
it don't scare them.
No, again, it doesn't scare you. But again, like I said, if we can figure out a way, I don't even know how to say it.
No,
like-
we'll fill them out. But so for the division, let's just take the division under a microscope here. If there's a new driver that says, "Hey, we're going to start with the Champ Carts," well, if the new driver doesn't have the experience, and
That's right.
unfortunately, that person gets in an accident.
Well, and that's the tough part. And I've said this even about legend cars, especially nowadays. And y'all know, you know, legend cars were a entry level division. Well, I don't know if there's so much of an entry level division anymore.
I mean, and it's great for the summer shootout where you can break
Yeah.
them apart in divisions.
Right,
But
right.
when you only get 10 to 15 at a track, a short track on a certain weekend, you don't break them apart.
That's
You got to
right.
have a legend car race. They're all together, but you can see the difference in the experience level.
Big
and
time.
it's dangerous.
very.
I can tell you right now, Jack will tell you, is I ran a Thunder Roadster at Concord, and I qualified in the modified in the North South Shootout race. I qualified at a 17.25 second lap at a half-mile racetrack. In the Thunder Roadster, I qualified at an 18.75, and it had a quarter-inch tubing. And as I was driving it, the whole time I'm like, if I crash,
I'm dead.
this is going to be terrible.
It's bad.
Yeah, so like,
Bad.
I mean, we had a good time, but I'm saying, man, like, you see those, you see the mini cups, like, I know you're having a good time. But those things look better on, like, so the Champ Carts, I'll give it to you. Why don't we go over and we'll run the dirt track at Florence? You know, like, you put some dirt tires on. Let's go make laps
Hey,
over there.
I will say something else too, and since there's obviously more to come about this, it's not the track we're talking about tonight. Hey, Dillon Motor Speedway is going to be
Yes.
bringing back up some go-kart races over there. That would
Yep.
be the perfect track to have the Champ.
Oh yeah,
Carts on.
Yep.
I just,
Yep.
like I said, we're not talking bad about Champ Carts.
No,
It's
no,
just-
no, 'cause I mean-
it's just scary. Like it's just like I wouldn't put my son in one, you know, and I actually I wouldn't get in one, you know. So it's just
Well, we also just don't know much about the division as other people
I also
do.
raced flat carts with no cage, so you know.
those, like a perfect example is Daytona when they lay on their backs running those WKAs
Yeah,
around the whole track. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to do it.
Right.
Yeah, I would.
I
would.
I wouldn't.
And this is a good question here. I just lost it, but I know what it is. Cecil Culbert Jr. just asked, and this is something that we need to touch on. Rules, and he said Charger class.
Yep.
But let's say pretty much any class. Rule wise, what are they going to be as compared to let's say Florence Motor Speedway?
Well, I can tell you right now that for sure this year it's exactly Florence Motor Speedway, right? Like as far as like our rules,
I think it goes back to the demographic. So you look around.
but I'm
like,
saying Chargers, right? Would we run our rules? I'm asking. I'm not.
We just got to look at it. And, I mean, obviously, quickly because it's coming up. Like, look at the Carteret, look at the Southern National because it's closer to the area. So we
But-
want to accommodate the people that's going to probably show out the first time.
Right. But going forward,
No, 2026, we have plans in
oh
place.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
So come 2026, we haven't put this video out that we made the same time we made that little announcement video, but 2026, URA currently has 6 racetracks lined up to do the exact same rules from the top to the bottom. So whatever the top shelf division's going to be to the bottom shelf. And then, you know, my big thing on everything is that I think naming is a big part of it. So that, like, you know, Ron runs a Challenger, and that's technically our limiteds. Well, let's just either call them Challengers or we'll call them like whatever they need to be. Like I know they're not the exact same, but whatever the name is, let's just be that. And then,
Right.
and so if you're a Charger, then you're a Charger in the 6 divisions. Currently, like Brian said, with Coastal, we just got to make the best of what we've got going forward to make sure we get the best car count. So,
let's see here. Just letting y'all know, Jay is
of course.
praising y'all a
He's-
little bit. He
he's
said
of-
So we know he is available.
he is available.
he is
Jay
available.
is available tonight. Got it.
He said he'll take Steve and Brian versus the field in the skid plate race.
Oh, well.
Well, that could happen now.
Oh, actually, Coastal Plains.
It
that
is
could happen.
enclosed.
Yeah.
All right.
It is.
Coastal
It is.
Plains.
That's
That,
pretty
would,
solid bet Jay just said. though.
Ju-
that would be a fun one.
I would not bet against you.
Let's see.
We hope that anyone watching from the Coastal Plains area, the main reason that we talked about this was hopefully that we'd like some kind of feedback on the Coastal Plains side. Like, you know, there's a lot of groups up there. Like I had a conversation today with Brandon Clements because he lives in the area. He's raced there. He races at Carteret. That's the crowd that we have questions for because we're making decisions based on people in Florence.
Yeah, it's new to us. Like,
Yeah.
what was right? What was wrong? Like, how can we make it
Right.
better? No, we need all those things.
Yep. So because I spoke to Andy Marquis today a little bit, and he knows that area. They all kind of live close by, and old Key Robinson, he lives close by. So they called and kind of had some conversations and kind of just learning, you know, the bomber class. Like we've never had a bomber class. We've never had any cars.
We
had
tried.
What's that?
We tried the U cars.
Oh,
Ron
yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
we just-
very, very.
Well, we tried it, and
very
I
simple.
think one car showed up. And like, eh, well.
I think it'd be a great class, but for some reason it just don't.
And it is up there.
Yeah, I know.
Like Southern National is
Yeah.
10 to 12, if not more. Wake County. They
That is-
thrive up there.
That is the new quote unquote street
Street
stock.
stock,
It's what
exactly.
you can pull out the junkyard.
That's right.
It's like I said.
But with that, while we wait for hopefully for some questions, is that Ron has got a great weekend coming up. We've got a great weekend coming up.
Yes.
You know, we got a big night of fireworks. I think we're going to be in the 12 to 13 late models.
2 nights of fireworks. Ron's
2
doing
nights,
it,
yes.
Yeah. Yep.
And Ron's doing a deal
Yeah.
where he's giving up a $500 bonus if your
Same driver wins both.
Same drivers win. Well, no, he said it's actually anyone that races with us in the same car and wins with him, he'll give a $500 bonus. So, like, if Dave comes and races,
You want me to drive?
tomorrow,
I'm
Dave
curious
wants,
about that now.
Dave, if he races, whoever wins at Dillon, he'll give a $500 bonus. So, and then so on our side, we haven't quite figured out the details, but at least fan-wise, please hang on to your tickets from Dillon because we are going to discount ticket pricing for our July 19th race.
Nice.
Because, like we talked about again,
Even more than $5.
I wouldn't say
Does
500.
that not blow your mind?
I wouldn't say
Wow.
5. I wouldn't say 500. There's no 500 coming from us, but
Say more than $5 because we're $5
yeah, oh yeah,
now.
right.
So we're discounting even more than 5.
Yes.
Where did you get 500 from 5?
$4.99
He saw
49.
5 and 2 zeros just in
Yeah.
decibel.
Yeah, that's right.
negative.
Yeah.
But no. So like I said, I think it's pretty cool. Like what we're doing with Ron and
Yes.
him being a part of it, and him coming out and putting that out there to say, hey, you know, like any Charger that does well or races, because what he did is push people to come to us, but also come to him.
That's right,
And,
yeah.
and that's like this whole URA thing, this whole Coastal Plains Carteret concept. Like we have to work together because we're all struggling to.
Well, that's
keep-
why also we didn't overload like tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We didn't do mini socks. We didn't do legend cars. We don't want to put too many. We thought Chargers was probably the only division that would overlap and maybe entices them guys to come run on Friday and also go run on Saturday. And it's not too much to change. Maybe a gear, a little bit of setup here and there. Obviously, our late model crowd is not going to go run at Dillon. It's like a true late model there at Dillon.
Right.
But if we did Legends and Chargers, and then if we tear up a lot of cars, I hope we don't, knock on wood. But if that happens, then Ron suffers from that. And we
That's
don't
right.
want that at all.
Right. No.
So we just thought one division maybe, but if we can bring the guys from Southern National that has been off since June 14th, and they come to, hey, we're down here, let's just say tonight, it might be late at Florence, but we can go back to Dillon and run the very next day. That's absolutely what we want to do.
Yeah, let's be honest. We're only having tomorrow night so my dad can shoot those fireworks.
That's exactly.
Or
what
run
it
that modified.
or run the modified, or at least start it.
Do we know how many zeros are behind the amount for fireworks that he bought?
Oh, no. Like I said, currently our biggest problem we've got is so we've got a modified at the racetrack, and he will not stop starting it. Like
Okay.
it's a
Like a
it's
smart
tour type. Yep.
Tour type?
Yep.
And it's parked in the same. Remember when Charlie parked the ride car behind
Yeah,
the section
yeah,
10?
yeah,
it's
yeah.
parked there.
Oh, nice.
So
All
in
right.
case you're
Your
wondering,
burgers are saturated.
yeah, I was gonna
with
say,
a
in
nice
case you come into the
view
infield
of,
concession stand,
Tour type modified.
you'll know.
You get the feel, the taste,
The
or
rumble.
the smell, and the taste.
Yeah.
It's not an earthquake. It's a rumble.
It's a rumble. All right, there's somebody with a shady looking Facebook named Jacqueline that asked about. Speaking of,
Yep.
smart modifieds at Coastal Plains. Is that still a thing? I know they were on the schedule. So, what's going on there?
Yeah, so it's still a go. August 29th. We talked about it. I think we actually talked about it in the release.
Yeah. And from what my gatherings are, it's going to be something pretty big coming out. Another video
Oh yeah,
from the great Chris Williams.
yeah, Chris. The Smart Tour, they do a great job with their. Our videos aren't never as cool as theirs, but no, it's the modified deals a go. 29th, we'll have Smart Tour 602s.
And a couple support. And then they'll, like, the Smart Tour will migrate over to Carteret County the very next day.
Yeah.
So they'll do the same thing they did in 2024.
We had talked about it in the podcast, or last release when we were here, is that we talked about having legends and bandos there, but we also forgot that we're doing Southern Showdown the weekend for us. Because that's such a weird weekend. It's going to be a big race weekend for Flow.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have the 29th at Coastal Plains with the modifieds. They'll have the 30th at Carteret with the modifieds. But on the 29th, Cars Tour at Florence Motor Speedway. And then as well, we're doing Southern Showdown for that weekend. So we have our 3-day legend car event. So just a lot of
So we're
stuff.
already trying to lay the groundwork with how to work together.
Thank you.
So if our August 9th race can tie in to the August 29th with the August 9th at Coastal Plains legend cars. If it's like a qualifier or gives you something that August 29th Southern Showdown at Florence, I mean, that's all.
That'd be
Everything's on the table.
Yeah.
We're just trying to see how to work together already.
But the modifieds for sure are there.
Yep.
Like that's already happening. So actually, like I said, I'm telling you right now, mark my words, whatever Chris is coming out with video was going to be
yeah.
amazing. Have you ever seen?
Oh, yes, I love it.
Did you ever see his Bernie weekend at Bernie
yes,
one?
I did. That was awesome.
What was the other one that you like?
They were trying to find the Smarty, the haunted school. Search for the Smarty.
All right, Brody Rhodes has asked. He says, first, a big thank you for making this happen. He said, I know some tracks require INEX license for all legends and bandos. Do you think that this is something you will establish at Coastal Plains?
Oh no, I don't think so. Like, I mean, if you don't want points, right? Like, because the insurance is going to go on the racetrack.
Yep.
So if you don't want INEX points, kind
I
of.
don't think 2025, but 2026 we probably want to be a part of INEX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're still going to like get INEX points this year, but it's the same thing we would do with NASCAR when like at some point you don't have to buy the license.
Right.
Like we're still INEX sanctioned, so if you want to be INEX sanctioned and get your points, you would have to get the license
For sure. Yeah.
So like you don't have to buy them, but you're going to be unassociated with the INEX.
I like how we're having a conversation like how we're going to figure this out.
Well, that's kind of what I was.
y'all keep
Q&A
going.
session, yeah.
That's kind of.
We actually have a live studio
No, man,
audience
Brody
here
Rhodes is
today.
pretty good now. Brody, I was a race director at Southern National this year, and I think he won the track championship in legend cars there, and he's been having a pretty good summer shootout as well, I believe.
He is. I'm just letting y'all know we got a lot of questions coming.
Nice.
Okay.
Just make sure your pronunciation's on point,
Well,
because we will call you up.
Douglas Briggs did say he wanted to take credit that he was invented available.
He's not wrong. He did. Douglas Briggs.
What do you do?
He asked about the VIP area.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. He started. Yeah. We'll put you on the T-shirt.
Jay has now just put his beer down. I'm commenting again.
Yeah.
What
What do you say? What do you say? No, he's like, you don't need me anymore.
You
Now
don't
you guys are
need
done with me.
You're done with me. Jay got so mad.
All right, I don't know which track he's talking about here, but I'll let y'all touch on it. He said, my fan experience has always been very bad at the track, and I travel 3 hours to watch the Cars Tour race. I hope there is more focus on the fan experience there moving forward.
I'm assuming he's talking about us.
Yeah, we'll have it. Well, don't call it.
Well, I mean, it's tough. Like,
maybe. Oh well, it is tough. We know the
Hit y'all
grandstands
with
are
a
an area
hard
of
hitting
concern.
question.
No, that's
Well,
all right.
I mean, that's the area of concern, the grandstands.
Of course.
And fortunate for us, unfortunate for the fans, is Dale Jr. does come run that race.
Yep.
So it's not like you're having your normal 100 to 200 people. When Dale Jr. comes on board, you're going to pack the house.
But I also will ask any fan, whoever asked the question, like we have sat and stared at the facility and like, we left Myrtle Beach Speedway and then we're fortunate enough to take on Florence Motor Speedway. And when we got there, it was already built. Like we couldn't make any decisions to, readjust this or change this. We walked in and you look and you're like, what the hell? Like, why would we do this?
Right.
But we're now in a situation, like I'd ask any fan, because we've had Grantham has been there with me. We have stared and looked at it like, what is your best case scenario? Like, how can you make the grandstands, just the stands themselves? Like, we were fortunate that North Industrial Machine gave us the aluminum because we were able to take at least wood and make it aluminum.
Right.
We were going to put the backing on it, but the backing made it so close you couldn't move your feet. So we had to take the backing off, put the aluminum down. And we've stared at it. And it's like, go to Lakeview, and Lakeview uses the wood. Like they got 2x10s, whatever.
Yep.
And they've got wood. And it's like, even if you build that, because like Brian, I'll tell you right now, but Brian hates our grandstands
I do.
because all trash goes under it and you can't get to it. So like at Myrtle, we used to be able to walk under it with a picker and dump it in.
But not talking about it how it was before, but we have done a very good job of fixing some problem areas
Yep.
where we don't just say, hey, there's a rotten board, let's just put a new board on top of it.
Right.
Yes,
So there was a lot of areas that was
yeah.
that way before.
Right.
So that would elevate you to sit here like, well, it's my knees up in my chin.
You're right.
And now the person behind me is going to suffer from me because of where I got to sit. We've helped it the way best we can.
Yep.
But it's definitely high on our radar.
But I definitely would, like I said, what I was getting at though was I would ask the fan to tell us like, what are your suggestions? Because like there's only so much you can do with it. And then, once we get there, our job is to try to get you in quickly, to try to get you in efficiently, and then try to have food, concession wise,
Right.
efficiently. After that, like the grandstand wise, like I just don't know what to do with them. Like you can't like pick them up. You can't
And
move
I want to
them.
know, is it a viewing experience or is it a
and that's
kind of entertainment experience that you're talking about?
Right.
What is it that you're looking for?
And so to that, we talked about it whenever the next one comes out. Those are questions we want. Like
Yeah.
we want to know that because we'll fix it once we know what the problem is. But if we don't know it's a problem, we can't fix it because we know one thing is that, you can't see the backstretch from the bottom row. And if you put big haulers in the corners, you can't see the corners. We got all that. The problem is that everybody apparently is now buying big haulers.
Which I will say, like I've kind of put myself in a fan's perspective when we went to Coastal as well. Like that might also be an area of concern where you sit on the bottom couple rows of a stacker, it's going to obstruct your vision.
I say we just tear up the go-kart track over there, park stackers
So
outside.
maybe like Langley, just make you drive over.
Yeah. Hey, whatever we got to do.
Or let's get back to grassroots racing, man. Let's just get a normal tow behind.
Yeah,
Why do we have a stacker?
Open
Come
trailers
on, yeah.
only.
Dad's headed to New York with one pick up the second modified.
It's got
What
a
are
full
we do-
modified
what are we
team, by the
doing
way.
with
In
this
case
modified?
you're
What are
wondering,
we
we got a
doing?
full-fledged modified team.
Oh, we're full into modifieds. So
Let's see. All right. There's a lot of people loving the bombers up there. Just letting you know.
good.
There's a good crowd. Want bombers.
All right. So with the bombers, is it bombers? I've seen bombers. I've seen U cars. I've seen any cars. 3 different names. Is it all the same division?
I have no clue.
Because we're curious of this. Because
Yeah.
we're coming
What
into
is-
it. We need to know.
What is
Like,
bomber?
and if there are 3 different divisions, what's the best rules package? Which one should we go with?
right.
And it may take a while to get back to your comment if you comment back because there's just quite a few questions and stuff coming in about it. Brent is asking, do you know yet gate fee, entry fees up that way? What you're looking at?
Yeah. So I think we're gonna go like especially coastal. Like we're doing our license non-license at Florence. I think we'll just pick a number. Call it what 30. Again, here we are.
Here we
Well, I
go.
think we're going to try to stay close to what we're doing here and what
Yeah, of course.
Diaz did at Southern National because we're all URA sanctioned.
Right.
And it's also the baby steps to like walk into 2026 where you'll see, hey, any track you go to that's under this umbrella,
Yeah.
it's all the same.
100%.
Across the
Whether
board,
it's the
same.
pit passes, hopefully we get onto a perfect scenario where concessions are the same.
Yep.
Every single thing you see at the racetrack, it doesn't matter where you are. If it's under that URA umbrella, it's all the same.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
What he said. That guy's
I like
Pretty
it.
good, right? That's good. Man, golly. Give me another beer. I talk good.
There's one also saying wish street stocks would come back up there, but I wish street stocks would come back anywhere.
Man, yeah. So I'm going to talk about street stocks a little bit here.
We'll have a good race of street stocks this weekend.
Last
I
race you're
believe.
supposed to have them. We had one street stock show up.
Yeah, I know.
The race before that, we're going to pay $1,000 to win. 4 street stocks showed up, and we only ended up paying $750. I think is what we advertised. Before that,
Chicken Bone Alley put in an extra $50 for fast time for qualifying.
Before that, 4 street stocks. Now the icebreaker weekend, which was the Stars, I think we had 10, which was the best one we've had all year. And then the Stars went to Anderson, and they had 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Where are they at?
Right.
I mean, even if you look all over the southeast, there's not every track's running street stocks on any given night.
That's every division though. Like anymore is like
I just don't. Again, I don't think a late model. And correct me if I'm wrong. Do the Q&A. I don't think late models are a weekly division, and I don't think street stocks may be a division throughout the course of the year. Maybe they're an exhibition in the off months
I think
where you get
problem-
all of them at one particular time.
I might be stepping on some toes right here, but I think the problem with street stocks right now is if you look at the price of them as opposed to running, say, like a Charger or something. I mean, you're on the same level.
Yep.
It's you know.
Well, the other problem is that all the levels anymore are way
Yeah, they're
above
all
where
elevated.
they're way past where they're supposed to be.
That's one thing we looked at before. So I told you before. I said our street stocks are coming in and paying the same set of scuff tires,
Yeah.
same fuel. So why is their payout different?
Right.
And it was before, but we
Yep.
elevated
Yes.
it where it's the same. Like your Charger payout and your street stock is identical
Well, you
because they
got-
have the same gate fee.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, we've done that now for 2-3 years.
But then to
and
what we
now
talked-
it's still dwindled.
And then to
Well-
what we talked about too is that so we keep the payouts the same, and you get 3. We still have to pay first through third, which is
That's
the
right.
top half of the purse, and now we have lost over $2,000 by the time it's said and done.
That's right.
Don't get us started, dude.
I'm not. I'm going to something more fun. Ricky Locklear Sr. wants to know, will the Florence Motor Speedway fireworks last as long as Bobby
No.
June's fireworks lasted?
No, he was. So they won't last as long. They will be good. I mean, I will say my old man's fireworks have been about 20 to 30 minutes.
I know he's got
He's had some
a
good
whole
ones.
notebook
Yeah.
full of what.
Yeah, dude. You should see it. Actually, I got a picture of it. But so I think it's Green's fireworks, which I've been dealing with since I started. He gives us a whole playlist. So he's got, and it'll tell him like, run this for 10 seconds and then fire this off 10 seconds later. And so then he gets to the end. But man, I'm telling you, if you could see a gentleman with COPD trying to smoke a cigarette and is holding his inhaler while he's trying to fire off fireworks, it is the greatest thing you've ever seen.
breathing in fireworks smoke the whole time.
Just standing over it, and one will shoot past his forehead, and he'll go on to the next one. So it. But I will say that people have praised his
been good.
fireworks show.
It's been
Like when
really
you
good.
see it from the outside, like that's funny to say, but he does a great job,
Yep.
and Greens does a good job of preparing us for that. But to Ricky's point, no. If you've ever been to a Bobby June fireworks
Yes.
show, I don't even know if Macy's could keep up in New York.
That's the difference in the promoters. I was going to say, well, come and find out. All right.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Get them to come.
Okay. Come and see.
Yeah, no, yeah, sorry. What I meant to say was, but
Oh, it's going to be glorious. I've seen it.
oh, it's glorious. It's a 6-foot tall trophy.
I think you've already touched on this a little bit, but we'll go back over it for new people joining in. Tyson asked, not sure if you've already been asked, but how are you planning on working with surrounding tracks in 2026? And this is talking about Coastal Plains.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
So I've kind of made a master spreadsheet. I'll say, hopefully everybody's on board. We're trying to get everybody in a meeting together, I will say, but not too many people, only the important members. And they're like every track has their own column where there's a schedule. And if we're overlapping, it might be in Anderson and it might be someone like Coastal Plains that's far away beyond each other that no one's going to like say, I'm going to run here this weekend and here that weekend. But no one will overlap that's in close proximity. And I think that's what we got to look at. Like Florence and Dillon, they're not going to overlap.
No.
Southern National, Coastal Plains, Carteret, none of them need to overlap. And I got a pretty good rough draft, but obviously we got to get everybody on the same board. And that's something that we, every track that we talk to, when we talk about the URA and what we're trying to do, we say like, we all have to be in agreement on this. And Steve will probably touch on how we go to the NASCAR meetings and everyone's in agreement. when we leave there, and then the very next week, this track does that track does this.
Yep.
Real quick, our good friend Alan Dietz put on here, and I want to add something to it, but he says, I think a good weekly show at Coastal would be Chargers, mini stocks, bombers, legends, and bandos. And hopefully your late models can get 10 to 12 guys willing to run a series at all the member tracks.
That's good.
But what I want to...
That's good, because that's exactly the division I got.
Alan.
He did good. Good job, Alan. But what I want to ask real quick, and I don't know if we've covered this, we covered it in the video, but I want to cover it on here. What are you looking at, though? Are y'all looking to be a weekly thing, or is this looking to be a monthly thing, or around about what are you looking at?
Now, we're talking about 2026.
2026.
Yep. So 2025, I'll say we got 3 races that we were planned on. 2026, we're working between 6 to 8 race events. Obviously, if no one's ever been there before, they had the dragway, they have the racetrack, and then they have a huge area. Like, there's a ton of acreage. Really, I mean, Steve's laughing over here.
No, I was just thinking about something.
I said huge. I didn't say huge.
No.
Huge.
I didn't say huge.
Huge.
It's immaculate. We should build a wall around Florence, by the
we're
way.
just trying to make
I mean,
racing.
Florence should have a backstretch wall. It's nice. I've seen it.
But yeah, I mean, that place has everything that you want from a facility standpoint. And we know this from Myrtle Beach Days, where we had like multi-purpose. We did concerts, we did Nopi Nationals, car shows, everything you can dream of. And I think Mr. Humphrey has that same mentality going in, where he said, the racetrack, the oval track side of it, we only want to do like 6 to 8 events, because that's everything that we were in agreement on when we first met him. And I think that really like brought him on our side.
Yeah.
The dragway is his own thing. He loves that drag strip.
Oh, yeah.
And it does great business.
Oh, yeah.
I don't blame him.
No.
But there's so much field, like a fair that we've thought about, and we throw it out to him. He's like, oh yeah, I'm open
Concert.
to that. Yeah. There's so many more things that you can do
Well,
where racing can't be your dominant thing.
And I think, too, like, everything is going to be day by day at this point. So, like, we have our 3 races this year. We've got our schedule kind of mapped out for next year. But that doesn't mean it can't get better or it can't get worse. So until we start doing it, like to Alan's point about the schedule, like that's what Brian had kind of envisioned. But maybe when we get to 2027, which, I mean, I can't believe I'm saying that, but we get to 2027.
Be here before you know it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, when you get to that point, and maybe this is how it's supposed to be. So right now, we're just literally all we're doing is asking questions, doing the best we can, and I think Brian said it in that video, was just the idea of, like, we need your help. Like, we consider ourselves professionals because we've been doing it a long time, but that doesn't make us the smartest people. So we need information.
Yeah, you're not racing without people like us, and we're not surviving without people like you.
Well,
Right.
what I'm going to say about, and this is obviously outside looking in perspective, is unfortunately, there were obviously events that led to the track closing down. And so things have to be looked at, in my opinion. It's like, okay, what is going to be best? Just my way of thinking,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's going to take y'all a year, in my opinion, to figure out. It's like, okay, this class is great here, this class is great. I'm not so much on this one. I mean, that's kind of unfortunately where we are with like TNL at Florence right now, and Florence and Dillon. Everybody wanted it, loved it. I feel like it should be a great class, but unfortunately, we're just not getting cars. Just saying, guys. I mean, it's going to be a regrowth. It's essentially a regrowth of the track.
Well, and that's why we haven't put out the official schedule, even though Brian just showed me his list of laps and classes for the week 1. But just waiting it out to kind of hear from everybody and see what we need to do. So,
we did get a little clarification here. Bombers and U cars are different. Bombers are your bone stock.
So TNL in our world.
Yeah, but they're, I guess, and
Did
U-Car is
how
more
about-
open to mod. But I think it's
So where does any car fall in that category? And I only know I'm asking any car because I raced right at Southern National this year, and their division is any car. But I know I see a lot of the same cars that run at any car at Southern National ran at Wake County like the night before. And this is all new to me. I don't know the rules. I
and
just
then
say,
another
hey.
one says bomber and any car are the same,
Okay.
and U-Car is more of an in between any car and mini stock.
See, David, you're like slowly inching like the world we live in.
Yeah.
You're like, what does this mean? That's what we've always.
But this also goes back to URA, where at some point, I don't care what you want to call them, what you want to name them, what the rules are, But if you want to consider yourself a U car, you want to consider yourself a bomber, that the URA rule package for 2026 will have a bomber class. It will have a ultra URA class, which started struggling on the URA, but ultra.
No, you're struggling because of ultras.
Ultras in front of you.
But every single division will have a rule package, and then when you show up and you know you're a bomber, or you know you're an any car, or you know you're a U car, that's what I was getting at, is you'll fit in that category, and you'll always fit in there, whether you go to Anderson or you go to Florence or you go to Carteret or you go to Coastal. So once we have the names right and we have the rules right, then it's no longer a question of what's a bomber, what's an any car. All right, well, so I own an any car, and now I run an any car anywhere that I want to.
Yep.
This is something I've thought about in the past too. Got a question on here. It says, are you looking at doing a URA championship across multiple tracks in 2026 by chance?
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yep.
I will say that we'll go back to the cruise. I think our stuff is above and beyond when it comes to even just this year. So we're doing the stuff with the I-95 and Mike and Mason, but as well our track champions in the top 4 divisions, right? Yep. Top 4 divisions. The top 3 winners, or first, second, third, will go on a cruise ship for our banquet. And those are the things I think that are different and are going to be above and beyond what URA is capable of doing, that people will have. So next year, we plan on maybe not running late model stocks full time with us, but we'll share them amongst each other, right? Like amongst the six racetracks, the URA divisions.
And before you get to that real quick, I was about to ask, Joe Malish asked, for 2026, will you have an expanded late model series that will travel beyond Florence Motor Speedway and Southern National?
Yeah. So we'll have late model stocks that we'll have. Brian loves the Hooters Cup concept.
I do.
Yeah.
So where back in the day they used to have a North and a South division, we currently have, in the way it's built, 3 North Carolina and 3 South Carolina tracks that are part of our URA stuff. So if that's the case, we'll have late model stocks running a handful of races up here and a handful of races down there, and at the end,
Spoiler alert here now.
what's that?
This is spoiler alert.
Oh.
This is going to be a whole cool press release, but now it's a spoiler alert.
But what I was getting at is we'll end up on a cruise ship. That's what I was getting at. It's we'll all have
ending up there.
There'll be a
Imagine we had all these tracks on board, and the whole cruise ship is nothing but racers. So that's our thought approach going in. It could be great.
Y'all
it could
thought
also be
Carnival was bad for fights.
I'll be honest. I don't care who goes. I'm going to show
It's
up.
going to be nonstop. Man overboard. Man overboard. Man overboard.
But I just think
I've never seen everybody get kicked off the ship at once.
I just think the work put in deserves an end result. So when it's said and done, it shouldn't be, I kept coming and I kept spending money with you and I kept doing this and I kept doing that. There should be a reason you're doing it. And I'm telling you right now, how much fun, we've already got it set up for this year, is we got a 5-day cruise with friends and family that we can all go and just say, you know what, we had a good time this year. We can talk about it. We can, run our mouths to each other. But those are things that I think are more important than people give credit for, where you can give $20,000 to a winner. Well, what's that mean for me, for you? You know what I mean? It don't mean nothing. So if you can finish third in a series, and you can,
that means something.
But if you can finish third in a series, and because right now, all right, so NASCAR's deal, you win $25,000 to win the championship right now. You're spending $125 before you ever get there. So, but if you could spend and run local and go have celebrate something with your crew and your team and everybody else, those are the little things I think Brian and I bring to the table.
Well, it's not just a one-night banquet that's rushed through and you're sharing it.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
You get to go
Now,
to the
so
formal
somewhat of a
dining room
vacation
every night.
Or captain's dinner, hey, bologna burger.
There you go.
That's your captain's dinner, bologna burger.
Yep.
Speedway fries. Come
I
on.
was fixing to
It's
say,
good. Yeah.
can we get a bologna burger on
Just
the
don't-
cruise?
Just don't be surprised when Brian and I are both on the deck, and we've got a case of beer at 7 a.m. Just Don't.
And we're not talking
don't,
about the next year.
Don't judge us.
Just give us one night, please, to enjoy it.
But anyways, so yes, I think that there is a group. There will be a system amongst everybody for next year. There will be some sort of we'll call it a national championship type of deal. Don't know what that looks like just yet, but we all got to share and give a reason for everybody to race amongst each other.
Absolutely. Yep.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Actually, we've had no more questions after that.
Okay.
So who figured?
It's fine. But we appreciate you guys having us, and appreciate like the camaraderie and just talking about racing. I think the little video turned out good. I think the Coastal Plains concept is great. Looking forward to what we have to bring there. I'm looking forward to August 9th, which again is now under a month away.
Yep. Coastal Plains also will be on Ultra Broadcasting.
Yes, which is nice. Yep. Yeah, it will be.
That'll be good.
So I was trying to not Paul's sitting over there. We were both trying to figure out like, so which computer are we bringing to where?
Well, actually, I've used that as a getaway because I got to use the bathroom. If Paul wants to get up here, talk about some Ultra Broadcasting.
Oh, yeah.
People at Coastal Plains and people at Ultra Broadcasting fans, if you, have you watched our content? Do you like it?
I
Do you
love
not like it?
I love
I think it's pretty good.
It's really
I've
good.
compared some things, and I'm not going to call out any other broadcasting platforms, but I've compared them like back to back. Said, Ultra Broadcasting from what we do is pretty dang good.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, there's some big national broadcasts.
Like some shots that you see, like that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Some coverage.
Yeah.
Even the delay. When I was looking at it one time, like I saw the car go down straightaway, and nope, the car went down straightaway. Like we're boom boom.
For our Chicken Bone Alley fan award a couple weeks ago, I had to use some film from URA. Yeah.
Ultra Broadcasting.
Broadcasting, I mean.
Just start with Ultra.
Copyrighted. You always for that, by the way.
I'm just saying ultra.
All right, so I'm leaving.
But,
Paul, come on up here.
But I had to use some film from it to give to the legend car driver that flipped over it.
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
At Lakeview.
Even the car, the vintage car, the Tyra Anderson. You see that one?
The Joe Anderson, the one that jumped the vintage
That was
car.
great. That was great.
Yeah. So we'll bring Paul in for the final segment here, and then
what's up?
But so this is Paul Burnham, Burnham, and Paul handles all of our production stuff when it comes to Ultra Broadcasting, and has got us in a situation where we're at to the point where production wise is good. They're great, great again, and. But Paul, so kind of fill everybody in on Ultra Broadcasting and how you got here.
So I mean, how far back do we want to go?
Very little.
Very, very not far back at all. No, I've been lucky enough to be to basically be invited out by these guys when they decided they wanted to start Ultra Broadcasting and starting the URA. They thought, why not cover all the bases, cover all the broadcasting rights and everything like that, and just encapsulate everything. And I've been friends with Steve and Mike Diaz and a couple of people involved for a little while now, and they're just like, they thought of me and wanted me to be involved in doing that. So I'm super grateful. And a lot of people out there don't know, but actually, Steve and Jacqueline actually opened up. Like I'm, as of right now, just temporarily, but as of right now, living at the racetrack at Florence. Like they opened that up to me, and I mean that's how thoughtful these guys are, and how much this means to them, and how much it means to all of us to put it all together. So
that Florence broadcast ought to be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but except I'm never there because I'm always with the production trailer somewhere else.
Go.
Yeah. But no, Paul brought he took us to a different level that we couldn't have got to on our own, whether it's just in the VMix side or the audio side. Like, it's something that I didn't expect we'd be involved in when we got to 2025. And it's kind of the conversation we had with what's 2026 look like for Ultra Racing, for Florence, for Coastal. I mean, at this point, who knows? Because I never would have told you we owned a production company going into this season because I didn't want to do it. It was just, kind of everything, the little telltale signs and everything kept falling into place. And then finally got to the point, I was like, man, we can just do this. Like and it was more, not even that we can do it. I feel like we can do it better.
Right.
And like I said, I'll put our broadcast up against, I'll be honest, I won't put it against Prime. I thought Prime did a pretty good job. But I will put it up against pretty much anybody. Even when last race, people don't know is that I was in Lakeview and Owen was producing Florence. So like when you watch it, we've set up a situation where a child technically can do a good job, and when you put that together where you've built a good structure that you can have somebody like that. We had a little bit of a hiccup with audio at the beginning, But overall, I mean, actually, Owen does a really good job, and Leanne does an amazing job when it comes to camera work. That girl, like,
Phenomenal.
I mean, I'm telling you right
Absolutely
now, like,
phenomenal.
So she's dialed in. But no, it's just been
Her photography work is awesome.
Oh yeah, like I said, just you got to tell her though, because she doesn't believe it, and we've tried to sell it to her 100 times, but
She's
no,
one of those
she
people
does
that anything she
good.
picks up, man. Anything Leanne picks up is stellar right from the top.
Yep.
I believe it.
But no, we appreciate everything, man. Like I said, we just wanted to come here and talk racing and kind of touch on what happened today. I think I don't want to say the world was shocked, but I think the world was excited about the fact that Coastal Plains is such a cool place that it deserves to have success. So I'm not saying Brian and I are going to be able to pull that off, but we're going to try. So when it's all said and done, we hope that we'll have our races and there'll be 20 plus cars every single division, and then we hope when we leave there that 20 plus cars show up to Florence Motor Speedway. So, and we said that in the video, is that this is all not about Coastal and it's not about URA. It's all about all racetracks, ourselves included. So we want to see everybody get better and get more successful and have stability when it comes to racing, because right now the instability of racing is getting treacherous. I mean,
well, I can tell you from a racer standpoint that when tracks work together, everybody wins, especially the racer. When you can not cost you a fortune to go from one track to another, you're more likely, obviously, to go to different tracks and try them out and stuff. So, as a racer, I greatly appreciate that.
so we'll see you tomorrow then, right?
You will see me tomorrow.
Yep.
I
So
will be there.
we probably should shut her down because we all got to get to bed so we can
It's
get ready.
Steve's bedtime, y'all.
Oh, y'all too.
It was Steve's bedtime 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate y'all so much coming over here and
Oh, thank you
hanging
for
out
having
with
us.
us. Oh,
Appreciate
anytime.
you having us, man.
Yeah, like I said, out of nowhere, I called him and I said, "Hey, what you think about us coming and doing?" He's like, "Yeah, come on, like that, anytime."
We can flip switch, turn it on.
Yep.
We're good
Love
to
it,
go.
man.
All right, y'all. Well, we greatly appreciate y'all again, and we appreciate all y'all for tuning in and checking it out and asking questions. Had some great questions tonight, and hope to see all of y'all out at the track again Friday night, Florence Motor Speedway, the Sun Fun 101
Fireworks.
and
fireworks.
Fireworks.
Are the fireworks
Lots
going to be
of
on
fireworks.
Ultra?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, they better.
All right, so you
Yeah.
better come to the track. Y'all come to the track, and then you can go home and watch the fireworks again
They
on
could be.
Ultra Broadcast.
You could set it up, and what you need to do is set the thing so it's on a loop. So people can just put it on TV
So
as their
many-
background.
Yeah, it's just always there, all the time.
But then after that, Dillon Motor Speedway will be in action on Saturday with more fireworks.
That's right.
So everybody come to the PD region of South Carolina here and enjoy tons of racing this weekend with great prices. $5 to get in the stands at Florence Motor Speedway. I think Dillon is $15, I said. So under $20, you're watching good racing.
That's right.
This weekend. So y'all come on out, and like I said, appreciate all y'all, and we'll see y'all at the track.
Yes, sir.